Fire up your frying pans and prepare to have a yard-to-table scramble in about 6 to 8 months, because you're about to learn how to raise a brood of hens from chicks to egg-laying ladies, and it doesn't just happen overnight, so be patient. This episode, Kristin is resurrecting hobby collectors to share her amateur backyard chicken knowledge. She's covering what you need to get started, how to keep your ladies happy and healthy, what to do when your chickens become too ugly to handle, and deciding whether chicken rearing is a good hobby for ADHDers. Also, we're taking a hard stance on the objectively worst ice cream flavor in existence, training for next year's pressure washing season in This Is Who I Am Now, inventing a puzzle exchange service that already exists in businesses someone should start, and they have, and more.
They said that we'd grow out of it. Well, the joke's on them, that's just our brains. We're eccentric, loud, and stubborn, and most of our clothing is covered in stains. It's not a deficit of attention, there's just too much to think about. So if executive dysfunction becomes a little too much, if you forgot why you came in this room, or you're hypersensitive to touch, then put on your seamless socks and come join our little flock. Bitches stimming together, we're weirds of a feather, weirds of a feather.
All right, we got the room sounds.
Yeah, we got room sounds. We're round 2 of recording trial.
We're trying it.
Maybe one day.
Until my phone runs out of space, which it already did once.
We will try again.
We will persevere.
And
Nevertheless,
again,
we persisted.
Exactly. Welcome to Weirds of a Feather, an AuDHD-Adjacent podcast.
Nice.
I'm your host, Kristin Stanhope.
And I'm your host, Grace Beret.
Welcome
to the pod loft.
Welcome.
Look at our pleather couch.
Pleather couch with a red lamp.
Squeaky as hell.
It is.
Don't you like it?
No,
What if we
now
just
that
get
I'm trying to
moving?
squeak, I can't really squeak.
It's more like, when your skin gets stuck and then you lift it up.
Yeah,
and
it's like that.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
No,
nice.
I like the pleather. Yeah.
I prefer a pleather,
Yeah.
No animals were harmed in the making of this couch.
Grace.
Yes.
How warm are you?
You know what? I'm not that warm.
You're not
I'm
that
pretty
warm.
middle of the road medium.
Great.
Could go
Would
warmer.
you like to be warmer?
I could.
Toasted?
I'm fine.
Toast a little bit?
I'd be fine with it, I
A
guess.
little bronze?
Yeah, bring it on.
All right. I got a warm-up question.
What you got?
This came up at work. And someone, I guess, got too heated about this topic.
Was it you?
It was me.
Someone.
But I figured we would discuss further on the show.
I mean, yeah, you brought this topic to the right person.
Yeah.
If you want the heat.
Yeah,
that's
that's
what
the
I'm here
thing.
for.
Is some people at work can't handle the heat. If you bring up a question, I'm going to argue. And maybe...
And they're just trying to make conversation.
Right.
And you're like, no.
And sure, some people at work say that I'm intimidating and they don't want to be on the wrong side of an argument with me and that the surgeons will do anything I say so they don't have to argue with me. Sure. But I feel like I'm usually right. So don't argue with me.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good
There's
thing
only
for them to
one
learn.
right answer to this question, in my opinion.
Well, now I'm stressed, but okay.
Don't be stressed. What is the worst flavor of ice cream?
Banana.
Like a real flavor.
Banana.
There's not a real.
There's got to be banana ice cream.
There's no banana. Where you go to the
If
grocery
there were,
store,
it would be bad. There is banana ice cream. I guarantee it.
I've never heard of banana.
I
That's
guarantee
not
there's
a real
banana ice
flavor.
cream. It is.
Okay.
Banana.
Name another one.
Worst ice cream flavor.
Yes.
Are you going to say pistachio? 'Cause
No,
I like pistachio.
I like pistachio. I just
don't
like
grape nut.
Yes. That's the correct answer.
Grape nut.
Okay.
It sucks. It's a cereal.
Sucks. Grape nuts suck on their own.
Yeah.
They suck even more in ice cream.
They suck as a healthy breakfast food,
They're
let
the
alone
worst.
in a treat.
Do you like eating Pebbles? I've got a cereal for you. It breaks your teeth.
Yeah. What if we froze those Pebbles and we put it in vanilla ice
now
cream?
Now they're just harder Pebbles.
When you like those
Here
Pebbles?
You go.
Yeah.
And some bland vanilla ice cream.
Yes, that's the other thing.
It's literally the worst flavor.
Grape nut is not a strong enough of a flavor to stand on its own. It's not like having a Fruit Loops ice cream.
Oh, for sure.
Having like grape nuts taste like nothing. And then you put them in a vanilla ice cream. Make the ice cream flavor interesting at least.
Why don't we leave the cereal out of ice cream?
Yeah, how about just leave it out altogether?
Cereal's great on its own, except for grape nuts because they're garbage.
Yeah, they're nothing. It's like having like a bran ice cream.
Right.
Like, what are we doing?
Bran Flakes ice cream? No, thank you.
Yuck.
Except it's worse because it's grape nuts.
I think bran flakes would be worse, arguably worse.
The texture of grape nuts is so foul to me.
Yeah, they are very hard.
They're so
like, why are you so hard?
Why is that hard? I don't think that's edible.
What are grape nuts?
I don't know, and I don't want to know.
I don't want to find out. I'm not going to find out.
They're so hard, and I don't know if everybody's heard of grape nuts, especially our younger folks who listen.
Or people in other countries.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are grape nuts?
Yeah. Imagine
grape
they're
nuts?
not grapes and they're not nuts.
No.
They're like hardened bran pebbles, but they're so hard. They literally break your teeth.
Yeah, they're like granola, but much worse. Like way less flavor, way harder.
Yes.
Like little granola
and they make you
pebbles.
Poop.
Do they? Is that the point of them?
That's why people
fiber.
They're like full of fiber.
Ice cream makes me poop enough on its own. I don't need little fiber pebbles.
They're like, oh, it makes you regular. I don't need that.
No.
All right. I'm risking it enough with like the plain vanilla.
Yeah. Plain vanilla. Come on.
But I can't imagine like what monster created this ice cream. It's against God, is what I said.
It is against God. It's wrong. It's an abomination.
Exactly. That's exactly what I said. I was like, it's an abomination. And it's against God.
Did people not agree with you, or were they just like,
one person?
Kristin, geez, calm down.
Well, both. So,
of course. It was like, okay.
Because they're like, so we were talking in the office, but my office is like right next to patient room. So apparently when you yell, you can hear next door. So yeah, they were like,
it's an important conversation for them to hear.
The patient should learn that but yeah, one person actually liked grape nuts ice cream.
What the fuck?
And
you have all the flavors at your fingertips? You're going to order grape nuts?
Tracks.
Oh my God.
You've got black raspberry. You're going to pass
Reese's
that up.
peanut butter cup.
Right? Cookie dough, the classic.
Mint chocolate chip.
Yes.
Come on. Classic.
And you're going to go with asphalt ice cream? No, thank you.
Yeah. Vanilla ice cream with just little pebbles in it. Why?
It's so bad.
It's so bad.
So
it tastes
awful.
Like, it just tastes like nothing.
And
where did why grape nuts? What are grape nuts?
Who was like, let's put this in cereal? Like, I don't know. And it's like a thing that people order. I don't get it.
It shouldn't be a cereal and it shouldn't be an ice cream.
Yes.
Like, it shouldn't even exist as a cereal. It definitely shouldn't be in a treat.
Exactly.
Keep it out of the treats.
I'm glad you agree with me.
I totally agree.
I'm glad you're just as upset as I was.
I did not think I was going to guess which ice cream you were talking about, but you're right. There's only one right answer.
And it's that.
I mean, alternative banana, if that were a thing, but
I don't think that's a thing.
Grape nuts.
If you've had banana ice cream, reach out to us at Weirds of Feather.
Please, I bet it's a thing.
If it's a thing, not here.
Not in my country.
Yeah, not in my house.
I don't think so. Yep.
Same for grape nuts.
Yes.
Not here, not ever.
No, I won't stand for it.
No, it's foul.
Doesn't belong here.
I'd
Hit
rather
the road,
eat garbage.
grape nuts. Yeah, I'd rather eat banana ice cream, honestly.
Yeah,
I think I would rather eat banana ice cream.
I would pick the banana over this
please.
for sure. I like bananas, not an ice cream.
No, and I don't like banana Laffy Taffy, but also I think it's something that kind of weirdly grows on you. It's one of those things, it's like pugs where you're so ugly that you're cute. I think some banana products are like, this is so bad that it kind of is good. Except banana runts, those are the worst. Keep them out of my house.
The thing is if there's enough sugar, I'll eat anything.
Yeah, that's the thing, ultimately.
Except for grape nut ice cream.
Yeah.
There's not enough
What's
sugar
the point?
That.
No. Yeah, exactly. There's just no point to it.
The texture is just unreal to me. I can't even comprehend how like disgusted I am with grape nut cereal.
It shouldn't exist.
And grape nut ice cream.
Yeah.
It's not grapes. It's not nuts.
It's nothing.
It's not a thing. It's rocks.
It's little hard rocks.
Yeah.
All right. I'm glad we are on the same page with that. Yeah.
I'm glad you agree.
I do.
And yeah, maybe we should move on to this week's little accomplishments.
Yeah, should we?
Yeah. Just a heads up, we have a Just Segs for you today. I
Which
got a new hobby.
We're not supposed to do little accomplishments. We're supposed to do This Is Who I Am Now.
Oh, fucking
for Just
A.
Segs. Sorry.
Well, I already wrote down an accomplishment.
Okay.
No, I can.
You can pivot that.
Let me pivot.
Pivot. Let me pivot.
You pivot too. You didn't even write down an
I
accomplishment.
know, but I had one in my brain, which I then forgot.
I'm ready now.
Okay.
What's our song?
All right. This is who I am now.
This time it's different. This time it's great.
Yep. This time it's now. Yeah. You got it. You got the gist.
I got it. No, we're going to nail it.
You got the gist.
Right?
Right.
And then it's a round.
Yeah. Then we do
Because
the
then
round.
I go and then you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we hold it as long as we humanly can because
I'm glad
fun.
we talked this out together. It's been a while since we've done hobbies. No, it hasn't.
We're not even doing hobbies. We're doing This Is Who I Am Now.
Segs. I'm sorry. It's been a while since we've done segs.
Yeah, but also
It hasn't.
it hasn't. 'Cause
Yeah.
Peter the Dolphin
Oh, yeah.
was a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
A few short weeks ago.
We have to take that episode
yeah.
down.
I think I'm just
Sorry,
going to take
guys.
the segment out.
Okay.
But yeah, we got flagged
For being inappropriate.
For being inappropriate. We got kicked off we didn't get kicked off the platform. We got kicked off the ad platform.
Yeah.
They didn't want to run ads on our podcast anymore, which is understandable.
That's pretty
I
okay.
guess bestiality pushes things over the edge.
Yeah, they were fine with gangrene, but they're like...
and cannibalism.
Yeah,
they draw the
this-
line at, I shouldn't even say it because now I'm going to have to bleep
Yeah,
out this episode.
Yeah. They just didn't like the idea of having Peter the Dolphin on a mental health podcast.
It's literally science, but okay, I guess.
So for people listening, and if you're going back to that episode, might change a little bit because we're gonna take that down.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'll be on our Patreon.
Yeah.
And
We're going
you
to
can listen to it there. And
put it behind a paywall.
Yeah. So sorry, folks, but I guess
Sorry, all you Peter the Dolphin lovers.
yeah.
But you'll have to go to Patreon to listen to that exclusive content. Which I think is fine.
I think for the future, if we're ever doing kind of a risky episode like that. Risque.
Please.
We'll put that on Patreon as well. Because we like doing this episode.
Kristin will think twice before she does all her inappropriate topics.
I had one inappropriate topic. And it was requested.
And it was medical, so it wasn't even inappropriate.
Medical.
Mine are just, I have no excuse.
Yeah. So,
Except
yeah.
I want to.
We can still do it. Don't give
will.
me your sad puppy eyes.
I'm not. I'm going to do it behind Patreon. I understand.
I
concede.
You know what? It was a good lesson for the both of us and Christopher.
Yeah.
And we've learned.
Yep.
We'll grow from this.
Yeah.
And we just know that we are a mental health podcast first and Peter the Dolphin podcast second. Yeah. So.
It's close behind.
Yes.
Not far behind.
A close second.
A close second.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do the fucking This Is Who I Am Now.
Let's get into This Is Who I Am Now.
Okay, ready?
Okay.
This time it's different. Everything has changed.
This is who I am now.
This is who I am now. As we were doing it, I was like, this sounds so bad.
It's so bad.
It's so flat.
You know what? Today on my way down, I was listening to our friend Kylie's podcast, Dark Down East. It's so well done.
They shouldn't both be considered podcasts. I feel like.
I was like, her voice is so like, I want her to read like Goodnight Moon to me.
Ooh, I bet she would.
Kylie, if you're listening, will you come over at night and read me a bedtime story?
Yeah.
Because she has such a nice voice.
She does.
And then I pivot to this podcast where we're just going.
It's like we're trying to be bad. Which we are.
We're not.
Sometimes we are. I mean,
sometimes
I'm not trying my best on that.
I'm not trying.
I'm trying to make it funny.
I could try more. You're right.
I could try less though.
We could both try more, but we could also both try less.
So I feel like we just stay where we are.
Yeah, middle of the road.
Yeah,
we're safe there.
We're a middle podcast, and so are you guys. So that's why we're all here together.
So you get what you get.
Yeah, you don't get upset. So
yeah,
Kristin.
Grace.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Who are you now? Thank you. I am once again a pressure washer.
Ooh.
Little AC's Little Blasters is back in business.
AC's Little Blasters is back.
Little AC's Little Blasters.
Little AC's Little Blasters.
Yes.
We're going to make a commercial for that.
Right? I think we do. I legitimately wanted to kind of make
very
signs.
much like Little AC's Little Blasters. Something like that.
Very Fruitopia.
Very,
Watch out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a lot of like Capri Sun. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, I think we should. I would really appreciate that because I'm back with the pressure washer, baby. Pressure washed my parents' deck the other day and then I'm going to paint it for them.
Ooh.
But man, you really can lose yourself in the pressure wash.
I bet.
It's so soothing.
I bet. I even sent you a TikTok once
Did you?
Yes. Did you not see my TikTok?
I don't know.
You even responded to it. It was like, if you're ever having a bad day,
Oh, yeah. I
just
did
go
see
pressure
that.
wash something and you'll feel better.
Yeah. And I do. It is soothing. It's also a lot of work. Like, it's fun for a bit, but then after a while, you're just
wearing
doing
shoes
labor.
while you do it, right?
Yes. Oh, God.
Okay.
Please wear shoes.
Wear shoes.
Yes.
Don't avulse your foot skin.
Ew. Yeah. Don't do that. But you just really get blasted by water the whole time you're doing it. So it's just messy. You accidentally hit the dirt like a tiny little bit if you're trying to spray something low. And you're like, my legs were just covered in dirt.
Yeah. Well, that's the fun of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Just soaked. I was cold. It was on Saturday. So it was like kind of surprisingly cold.
Yeah.
I know. And I didn't think it was going to be. And I wore shorts. And then I was like freezing, just being covered in this mist.
Not as fun as it usually is.
No. But then I was cleaning off my parents' deck chairs that were kind of like moldy or whatever, had like algae growing on them. What is that? Is that mold?
Yeah.
Algae. No.
It's not algae. It's
Algae's
mold.
in the ocean.
Mildew.
Mildew.
Is there a difference between mildew and mold?
That's a good question. I don't know. I feel like
I'm not
qualified
should know.
to answer that. Yeah.
I feel like I should know.
Look it up. Look it up in the future. Not right now.
Not
Save
now.
it for the future.
We got things to talk about.
I think mildew is the word. But they had chairs that were covered in mildew, and I blasted those off, and it came off right away, and that was very satisfying. Except they were spinny chairs, so they would just like spin and spin and spin. So that was kind of complicated. I had to like get one leg up on it and hold it while I was like blasting it. It was quite the ordeal. But I'm back in business just in time for fall, and then pressure washing season will be over. But I'm kind of enjoying it.
A little nugget of pressure washing at the end there.
Yeah, just a little taste to remind myself that it's not as fun as I think it is. Because it's a lot of work, and you're very sore afterwards.
Yeah.
But it's rewarding.
Yeah, your trap's sore.
Yeah. Yeah. You're like spraying up, especially, and then it's like pushing back against you. And
you got to brace yourself.
Yeah. So my upper back is very sore, but that's okay. It's just part of the game, you know?
Yeah.
Well, part of Little Lacey's Little Blasters.
Maybe we could do some Pilates together to work on those traps. Get into this winter, we could do that and get into pressure washing season.
You're right.
You know?
And hit it hard next season. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd totally do that with you.
Okay. Let's do it.
All right. Sweet.
Kristin.
Yeah.
You know,
I am an egg gatherer.
Oh.
It's a dramatic
eggs?
pause.
Yes. Whose eggs are you gathering?
My chickens. We've laid eggs. They've laid eggs. I've laid
Don't
no
take credit
eggs.
for that. It's like when a man says, like, we're pregnant.
Yeah,
like,
you're like, fuck you.
I get it, but no,
you
she's
don't
pregnant.
know.
Yeah, we laid eggs.
Yeah. No, I've gathered the eggs that they have laid.
You are the gatherer. Yeah.
We're going to talk about it more on this week's Hobby Collectors. But for now, I am a gatherer.
Congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
Have you made anything with said eggs?
Yeah, I've made an omelet, which didn't come out great. I realized I don't really like omelets. I think that's the issue.
I don't really care for them.
I just
make them too dry.
Yeah, I just can't get a good consistency on it.
I'd rather just make scrambled eggs and just put a bunch of like veggies and stuff in the scrambled eggs.
We've been making a lot of egg sammies. So like an English muffin.
Oh, I thought you meant like egg salad sandwich.
No.
Which is gross to me, but that's a personal issue. Egg breakfast sandwich.
Breakfast sandwich.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
All right.
It's been,
look at you
that's what
living
we've
off
been
the
doing.
land.
Yeah. They're very small because they're still like babies, basically. They're like
babies having babies.
Really, honestly, they're like 6 months old.
That is babies having babies. Damn.
So they were hatched in like February.
Teen moms.
I know, really.
Really?
But they're making eggs, and I'm eating them eggs.
Good for them. Good for you.
That's who I am.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm excited. I even brought you eggs because I was so excited.
Thank you. I'm excited to try them.
I'm excited to go home and check for more eggs.
Yeah, that's fun. It's like a little thing you get to check every day.
Thing. We go home and like, I come home. I'm like, Christopher, have you checked for eggs yet? He's like, no, I'm waiting for you.
Oh.
And we go out together.
Oh, that's
Our
nice.
first egg. Actually, we'll talk about it later because there's a lot to talk about.
Okay.
But when we got our first egg, it was a little dramatic, but I like pull it out of the nesting box and I'm like, an egg! It's like in the middle of the afternoon and Christopher's like, for real? And I'm like, a real one! And we're like jumping up and down with the egg. We're like, we've got one!
Did you break it?
No.
Okay. I thought you were going to say you broke it.
No.
All right.
No, I took a bunch of pictures and I sent them to you.
Yeah. And they were lovely. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Proud
really
of you.
excited. So our
Proud of
neighbors
your
think we're
gals.
crazy.
Well,
but
they
that's
probably
okay.
already thought that.
They already do.
Yeah.
But they like us no matter
Good.
what. But yeah, that's who I am now.
All right. Should we mosey on into business?
Our business ideas.
Business is someone should start, just not us.
Just not us.
Please use the official title.
Yeah. But this segment is exactly what it is.
Yeah, it's very self-explanatory.
Businesses we think of that someone should start, but just not us.
Yeah. And the deal with the business is we get 50% of the profits
of
if
the
you
profits.
Go on to start this business.
Yeah, and are successful.
Ideas aren't free.
Exactly.
So.
But Jane made a song for this, right?
No. Well, yeah, she made the music. We
do the lyrics.
Sing, quote unquote. We do the lyrics, quote unquote. Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Business, 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 business.
How many do we
I don't know.
Let's do 4 and then do business. Because I think that's what we just did.
Great. Yeah. That sounds
Seems
great.
like enough.
We did it.
We did it.
There we go.
Wasn't that a nice song that we just did?
Worked really hard on those lyrics.
Yeah. So please appreciate all the effort we've put into that song.
And go check out Jane. She's on
SoundCloud. Jane Olsen.
Jane Olsen on SoundCloud. She made our music for business ideas, and she also made our music for hobby collectors, which will be coming up shortly.
Yes, I know.
She's incredibly talented.
I was just thinking we don't get to play Jane's song enough anymore because we have run out of hobbies for a little bit, but I'm glad you're doing one today.
I'm doing one today. I was really excited about it.
I just re-listened to our old episode when we first played her hobby collector song, and I busted out laughing. It's just so funny. I always forget how funny it is.
Yeah.
Hobby collectors.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
And Jean also sent me, I'm going to post it on our Facebook with her permission, her daughter's artwork.
Oh, wonderful.
Her daughter's starting to do some art, and she sent me she sent us on the Wolf Instagram a couple of things, and I thought they were really good. So I'm going to post, when this episode comes out, I'm going to post her daughter's artwork. I'll have to ask her if she wants me to tag her, but I'm really excited to post that because I thought they were really good.
Cool. Thanks for sending that in, Jane.
Thanks, Jane. Yeah, I got a business idea.
All right.
I was really excited about this.
Okay.
I was super pumped. I have a grandma, Grammy Sal.
Yeah.
She loves puzzles. That's like her thing. She has her...
Grandmas love puzzles.
She has a designated table in her small house.
You gotta.
That's for puzzles. I know one day Christopher and I went over, she had a couple rotting boards on her deck, and we were over there, and it ended up being a much big, like we took off one board, it was like another board. So we took off like 3 boards, and it was kind of a bigger thing than it really needed to be of fixing her deck, and we were there for way too late, and she was like getting pissed. She's like, listen, I've got a puzzle to finish. I don't know when you're going to be done.
Got a puzzle to get to.
She's very particular about her puzzles. She doesn't want over 500 pieces.
No?
Yeah, because my brother and I sent her some puzzles for Mother's Day, and one was 700 pieces.
Too many.
200 too many. She called the puzzle company and complained. It was too many pieces.
Why would she call the puzzle company? So they shouldn't sell them?
She goes,
it's a problem with you guys buying it for her. I don't like
your puzzle because it has too many pieces. And I guess the guy was like super nice. He's like, I'm so sorry. And sent her 2 500 puzzle pieces. I wish I knew the company.
Damn, she got 300 pieces for free.
I know. She's like, I just called him and I complained. I was like, you should complain to me.
Yes.
I'll buy you a new puzzle.
The problem isn't 700-piece puzzles existing.
Yes.
It's that she just doesn't want to do them.
Right.
It's okay if they exist.
Right.
They're just not for you, Sal. Do you think this grandma could potentially be a source of where the tism came from?
I don't know.
It's raising a flag for me.
I love my grandma. I hope I'm just like her when I get older because she's no nonsense, all business.
Straight to business turkey. Good for her.
And she's very set in, I don't know, she's 83. So I feel like
she's very set in her ways.
Yeah, she's 83. I feel like you should
have a routine.
You should have a routine. She does. She's got puzzles to puzzle. But here's the thing is we buy her all these puzzles. She does like puzzles all the time. She does at least like 2 a week.
Damn,
I know.
Crushing those puzzles.
Yeah, she's really crushing them.
Good for her.
And well, she likes it. It keeps her busy.
It's very zen. It's like Buddhists.
She doesn't like to watch TV all day, and
it's like Buddhists doing the sand art, which they then erase after because it symbolizes like the impermanence of things in life. Puzzles are very much like that. You're not creating something that you're then. Does she hang them on the wall, or does she put them back in the box?
She puts them back in the box.
Okay.
Or we did have one where my brother his wife she's very good with photography. She took a picture of all 3 of the kids, and you can like send it to another company to make a puzzle out of it.
Yeah.
And then we sent that to her, and she put it together, and then she glued it together because you can buy special puzzle glue.
Of course you can.
And then she gave it back to him as a present. And he's like, oh, thank you.
Why wouldn't she keep that?
She's like, I figured you would want this.
Yeah, I put your picture back together for you. I fixed your picture. That's hilarious.
It's so funny. So she does a lot of puzzles. We get them from like, Salvation Army. We get them from thrift stores. We buy that, she always loves a bargain. So sometimes if it's like a particular bargain, I'll leave the sticker on it so she can see because she gets really excited.
What a bargain.
Yeah. Like a 99-cent puzzle.
Wow.
Deal.
What a steal. That's the gift. Is how much money you saved.
Exactly. So
I love her.
I love her too. She's just...
Is she the grandma who would get upset at you for sending her a card because she didn't want you to waste the stamp?
Yeah, don't waste your stamps. Yeah. She still does.
It's like 10 cents.
It's up to like
20,
50, I think,
sorry.
right now. But yeah, I'll send her a Christmas card and she'll call me the second she gets it. She's like, I don't know why you waste your stamps on me. And I'm like, I want to send you a card. She's like, you don't need to waste your stamps. You can just tell me that you were thinking of me. And I'm like, how about I just send you a card?
Yeah, or I send you a card. Oh, that's kind of sad.
She's so funny. She's stuck in her way. So anyway, she does a lot of puzzles, but now she has like all these puzzles. She'll do the puzzle once and then, you're done with it, right?
And she just keeps them?
Well, she keeps them in a box. But she has a lot of, or she like gives them back to Salvation Army or something, But I was like, there's got to be a way where you can like rent a puzzle and then mail it back. Yeah. And I was like, what a business idea.
Yeah, you only need it temporarily.
Yeah, you only need it temporarily. And then it could be this whole website where you can like pick out, what's important to you, how many pieces, what kind of puzzle. Do you want a 3D puzzle? Do you want a not 3D puzzle? Do you want like a jigsaw puzzle? Do you want just a regular puzzle? What do you like puzzles? Do you like puzzles of like sceneries? Kittens? What do you like puzzles of?
500 pieces or less?
Right? 500 pieces or more. You could pick out puzzles and then you could be on like this subscription basis where they would send puzzles to you from the like allotted selection. Yeah. And then when you're done with it, like a library, right? A puzzle library. And I was like, I got to put this on a business idea. And I was so excited about it. And I was just like, Christopher, I don't understand. How hasn't this happened yet? And he's like, well, did you look it up? It's already a thing.
Of course it is.
But
it's such a good idea that it's already a thing.
Such a good idea that someone already made it. And
of course. As if someone in the puzzle community hasn't thought of this.
You know what? Shame on me for thinking that this was like a novel idea.
Yeah, like you knew more than the puzzlers, please.
Yeah, that's on me, and I'm sorry, puzzle community.
But we got a lot of puzzle community listeners.
I was mistaken.
Yeah, that's okay.
You can go to this website. It's called puzzleexchange.com.
Great.
Basically, it's the whole thing. It's a drop-down menu. What kind of puzzles do you like? How many pieces? What scenes? Like, what do you like puzzles of? Or do you want specific puzzles? And then you can go based on subscription. Do you want like one puzzle a month? Do you want weekly? Do you want unlimited puzzles all the time? And then you just mail them to you. And then you can keep them for as long as you want. And then you get mailed back puzzles.
You keep them as long as you want.
Yeah, well,
because you can't get a new one until you return it.
I don't know. I didn't look into it that much. But it's like a subscription basis. So you're paying monthly regardless whether you keep the puzzle or not.
Oh, interesting.
But I think you're supposed to mail them back.
Yeah, they must have some kind of system. Otherwise, people will just be stealing
puzzles. I gotta look into it more. But
I really think this is a very good idea. However,
they have like gifts. So you can gift someone the subscription service for like a year or whatever.
Get it for her.
I know.
But I was going to say, while this is a very good idea for puzzlers who are good at returning things, for ADHDers, this sounds like hell waiting to happen.
Right.
You lose one fucking piece of the puzzle, and now you got to pay for the whole puzzle.
I know.
Like, how do they handle missing pieces?
I guess.
Does someone count all the pieces when they get them returned?
I don't know. Well, I didn't look into the
details.
Like I was just really excited about the idea. Well, you're probably going to have to count all those pieces.
Because otherwise, you could just be returning pieces or returning puzzles that have missing pieces.
Right. Well, they must have a
problematic.
A puzzle piece counter.
Yeah, like a coin counter, like an automatic thing.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah.
But for me,
maybe they do it by weight.
Yeah. For me, that's a good idea. For me, as an ADHDer who is terrible at both keeping track of tiny little pieces and returning things, this would be my nightmare. This is like setting me up for failure.
This is not for me.
No. Most of our listeners stay far away from puzzleexchange.com.
But if you're passionate, if you're puzzle passionate,
yes, and you're responsible,
I think it was important enough.
Yeah,
and if it was to the point where like you can't get a new puzzle until you give one back, return one,
and it's been counted by our designated puzzle piece counter.
Yes.
Talk about the ultimate autism job. I know. Counting puzzle pieces all day.
Puzzle pieces.
Making sure everything is organized and in its place.
This is only 549.
Yep. Oh no.
Demerit.
Yep. Kathy, didn't return all your pieces.
So I guess
if you're an avid puzzler, you're probably very good at keeping track of pieces. It's not your first puzzle.
To buy a puzzle, because you only really use it once, right? You don't want to like...
It's like a book.
Yeah. That's why we have libraries, because you read it once and then you're like, great, that was a good book. On to the next.
Yeah.
So, you don't want to, I mean, some people like to have lots of books in their house, and I'm sure some people like to have lots of puzzles in their house, but...
Some people are one and done, like Sal. She doesn't want that hanging around. She doesn't want that.
Yeah, she'll give it back to you.
Yeah. Completed.
Yeah, completed. Yeah, glued together.
She should just glue all her puzzles together, give them out as gifts.
She could, yeah. She probably, don't tell her that, she'll do it.
Right?
For sure.
Doesn't that sound like a good gift?
Now I know what I'm getting for Christmas.
Yeah, glued together puzzle. Basket of puppies. What kind of puzzles does she do? Does she like basket of puppies?
She'll do basket of puppies. She likes the big scenery. Yeah, she likes sceneries. So that's what she doesn't like, the ones that are like really intricate, like geometric designs where you have to like really. She just wants to put together a nice scene and she wants to move on.
Yeah,
and I respect that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe like a nice meadow.
Yeah.
An old barn.
Ooh.
I think I got her a lighthouse once.
A snowy hill.
Yeah. Exactly. A deer in the forest.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Lovely.
Do you think Sal could handle the puzzleexchange.com? Because she's not going to the post office.
Do
you have to get her stamps.com
my
subscription?
uncle's living with her right now. So I think if I called my uncle and said, yo, I'm going to sign her up for this puzzle thing.
He's like, don't. Now I got to fucking return all this woman's puzzles?
I think he would do it.
Week?
You know what? I think he'd be able to return some puzzles.
He's a better person than me.
Yeah.
I'm not returning anyone's puzzles, including
if you
Grammy
package
Sal's.
it up and put it in the right package, I'll return it for
you. Even then.
But anyway, I'm going to talk to my brother about it because we usually go on gifts together.
That's a good idea.
So I think that would be nice for her.
And that's a good business idea that you definitely invented and you came up with all in your own.
Yeah, business idea someone should start, and someone did
and
start.
They have,
and it wasn't me.
Yeah.
So I was just like so blown away. I was like, this is such an incredible idea. Like it could actually be a real idea. And it was.
Yeah, so good that it's
actually in existence. And I just needed to talk about it. So I know that's not a traditional business idea, but
I like it.
There was like a thought process behind it.
There was something there.
Yeah. So, I'm going to check out this, and I'll link it in the show notes, and I'll when I put polls up and everything, I'll have like a little I usually do like a screenshot of their like page and a link on Instagram to it. So if you can look forward to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right.
Yeah, that's my business idea.
Should we transition into hobby collectors?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you want to do this transition?
That's a good question.
You've been doing a lot of ocean sounds.
Yeah.
Should we do
what about like caves? Cave sounds.
Cave sounds?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just thinking opposite of the ocean.
Yeah. Oh, I was thinking a mountain.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, but you were going. I was going above, and you went below.
Down.
Yeah.
Interesting.
How about you do caves? I'll do mountains.
Okay.
Okay.
Ting, ting, ting. It's a little miner down in the cave.
Oh, that's really cute.
It's a working cave.
Yeah.
It's a functional mining cave.
Okay.
Ting,
wait, I also want to do caves too.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Get in on this cave.
I'm gonna do like a weird wind that shouldn't be there, like a whoosh.
Eerie, because it shouldn't be there.
Right?
Ding, ding,
shouldn't be
ding,
wind in caves.
Yeah. Ding, ding.
And then a little.
Ooh, what's that?
A mouse.
In the caves?
In the caves, right?
All right. Yeah, mice live in caves, right?
Cave mice.
It's a little canary. Canary in the coal mines,
You're like in a mine.
Yeah, I guess I'm doing mine.
You're not in a cave. You're in a mine.
I'm fully in like a working mine.
We're mining.
Yeah, we're now just mining.
Okay, all right.
Hot dogs, get your hot dogs. That guy's down here.
He's down there. He's everywhere.
They've got to eat lunch.
Oh my god.
The miners need lunch.
Yeah, they do. They do.
They need a hot dog. Mining town hot dog guy is here. He just arrived.
Oh my god.
All right, welcome back from that transition.
That was a great transition.
That was really good.
Yeah.
Next time we'll do mountains.
Okay. All right.
Thanks for jumping on board with caves.
Yeah. Cave/mine.
Yeah. There's not a lot of sounds down there. It's a pretty
It's a cave.
quiet place. Not a lot of life.
Well, there's you could do the little rolly cart on the tracks.
Yeah. It's good. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's how that goes.
It sounded good.
And you could do
Ooh, what about water dripping from a stalactite? Is it stalactite on the top? I can never remember. And might.
One is one and one is the other.
Yep. That's as far as we need to know. What about bat?
Oh,
bat.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I think.
What'd you think it was?
Like you struck oil and it's it's like now we have a problem.
Yeah, now we got
an emergency in the mine
coal,
here.
Yeah. This is a coal mine, not an oil mine.
Yeah. You could do an explosion, like some dynamite down there.
Stand clear.
Yeah. Clear.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I feel like I'm ready to move on.
Yeah. I'm about ready, and I bet the listeners are as well.
Yeah.
Should we get into hobby collectors?
Yeah, let's get into hobby collectors.
And we don't have to sing because we have Jane's
a song
to go here.
We are the collectors. These are our hobbies. We are the collectors, and these are our hobbies. We are the collectors, and these are our hobbies. We are the collectors. Hobby collectors.
Okay.
Welcome back from Jane's song.
Yeah. Thank you, Jane.
Yes, thank you, Jane.
Yeah. I got a new hobby to share.
All right. This is exciting. We haven't done hobbies in a while.
About it. I haven't done a hobby in a while. And did I run out of hobbies? Kind of. I feel like I keep revisiting old hobbies.
Same.
I'm cycling through. So maybe we could do in the future, revisiting hobbies.
Yeah. We've done that before. Checking in on them.
Yeah. But this hobby is something new of this year to me, chicken keeping.
Yeah.
And I know some of our listeners have chickens. One of our listeners sent us a Lady Gaga chicken.
Oh, that's
Remember
right.
that?
Yeah. She was one of our mascots.
Yeah, she's the wolf mascot.
Yeah.
Lady Gaga chicken.
She's incredible.
It's fantastic. What a chicken.
What a chicken.
What a lady. But this is a new hobby for me, and I'm just excited to talk about it because, like I said earlier, we started first getting eggs this week, and I can't stop talking about it. It's really, really fun, and I feel like I've accomplished something even though I didn't lay the egg.
You've cared for the animals that laid the
things.
eggs. They couldn't do that without your care.
Right.
So
because they are stupid, and they would off themselves somehow.
Exactly.
Without me.
Run to the road. So you're really
they're not afraid of cats, which is their new thing. They love to ooh, what's that? And
good instincts, chickens.
Yeah.
Great instincts.
They don't have instincts.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is gonna be I don't know what I'm doing with chickens. Because Christopher's had chickens his whole life, but he grew up in California, so chickens in Maine is going to be different than chickens in California. He knows what he's doing. I don't. And so I've relied on him a lot. I do like this hobby, but this is going to be an amateur guide for amateurs by amateurs.
Perfect.
Yeah?
Yeah. Blind leading the blind.
It's going to, yeah, exactly. I don't feel like I'm competent enough to teach about chicken keeping, but I am competent enough to teach about my experience with chicken keeping.
There you go.
And that's what we're going to do.
Good qualifier. Yeah. All right.
Right?
That's all you need.
I was going to talk about it earlier, but then I was like, let me just get one egg and then I can feel confident. And now we have up to 12.
Yeah, so, you've done it.
Mm-hmm.
Full dozen.
Full dozen. Well, I ate a bunch this weekend, so now we don't have a dozen.
Well, you had a dozen
I had a dozen at one point, and then I ate some. So yeah, so chicken keeping, it's a lovely hobby. I reluctantly picked this up because Christopher was very adamant. He's like, we should get chickens. I felt like at the time I was either going to be convinced to get chickens or a dog. And I feel like I had to cave to something.
Yes. Chickens all day.
Yeah. I was like, I don't think I can handle a dog. I don't think we as a
society.
As a society could handle a dog. I'm not ready for a dog. I don't know if I'll ever be ready for a dog.
I don't think you should. I think if cats work for you and your family, stick with cats. God, I wish I could be a cat person.
Yeah, especially our
so
cats
much easier.
are just like bananas. But
the fact that you never have to walk them makes them instantly 1,000 times easier.
Watching on the really snowy days, I love watching the people who own the dog down the street from us. They have this dog in a sweater and he has a raincoat, he has a light up leash, he has all the accessories, but I'm I still would rather be in here.
Oh yeah, of course. Miserable.
And like we live on a busy street. We don't have a fenced-in yard. We're just not like ready for a dog. But chickens,
is that the exchange 4 chickens to 1 dog in terms of what pet you're getting?
Probably gonna need more chickens. I think it's gonna be.
I would say at least 10 chickens to 1 dog.
We don't have the room for the amount of chickens we would need to equal 1 dog.
You're right. Yeah,
That's
a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Once again, I'm an amateur, and here's my amateur guide.
Yeah, I mean, no one's coming here
Right.
for expert chicken advice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's plenty of places to get expert chicken advice.
It's not here.
It's not here. And so if you're an expert, like Lady Gaga's mom,
Yeah.
not the real Lady
The
Gaga,
musician,
but Lady Gaga Chicken's mom, please send in any and all advice because I will take it. I am on the chicken TikTok and the chicken Instagram, and I still don't know what I'm doing. So
Stop discounting your knowledge. You have some experience.
I have some experience.
Let's hear about it.
Yeah. So before you get started, there are a couple things you need to know.
What is a chicken?
So, number one, unless you're planning on having like a million chickens, or the eggs that you're buying now are stupid expensive, like $30 an egg, you will never make a profit. The amount of eggs you get will never equal out how expensive it is to keep chickens.
Yeah, like don't go into this as a money-making
Yeah,
thing.
it's not back. And this is like suburban backyard chicken keeping. This is if you have like a full farm of like, and that's like your business, then yeah, maybe that would be worth it. But if you're a casual, this is a hobby. This is not for profit.
Yes.
And then 2, unless you're 1,000,000,000% sure that you are going to get chicks, do not go to the farm store to just look at the baby chicks because you will buy them.
They're too cute.
They're so fucking
like the
cute.
cutest things
I was so
on earth.
bamboozled.
Why would you even do that? That was foolish.
It was stupid of me. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
As I was like, no. And then I got a couple pictures because someone at the time, Christopher, was working at the farm store.
You're a sucker.
And then I think I even went in to like get something else for like the garden or something. And I looked down and Christopher's like, let me just show you all these cute little baby chicks. And I was like, look.
They're so cute.
Mm-hmm.
I've been seeing a lot of baby quail videos on Instagram. Have you seen those? They're like the size of a little quarter.
Yeah.
They're so cute.
I'd be worried I'd step on them.
Yeah. They're like too small.
They're so small.
They're
the
like little
chicks.
pom-poms.
Yeah. These are bigger than a pom-pom. But they do look like pom-poms.
Yeah.
They're very cute. They're very tiny.
Very cute.
They have little chirps. They're adorable.
Yeah.
So don't go in there. Don't even go in there. Like go to any other place except for this farm store in the spring because you're gonna go and you're gonna walk by those little heat lamps and you're gonna hear all the chirps and you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, this is so cute. Like maybe we should get one. And the next thing you know, you've got 4 freeloaders in your furnace room.
Yeah.
And with a heat lamp.
Shitting on the floor.
No, we had a setup. So don't do that. Because you're going to buy them because no one can resist. They're too cute.
It's like going to look at a dog at the adoption place just to look.
Just to look.
You're coming home with a dog.
You're coming home
That's
with a dog.
That's why I don't look.
Don't look.
Yeah.
Make a decision first and have a plan.
All right. Good advice.
Don't be like I did.
Don't.
And then also you want to make sure, I live in technically it's a city. It is a city. It's a big city. Yeah, I live in a city. You want to look up like what the restrictions are. If you're in a town or a city, you want to look up the restrictions. My city allows for 6 hens. It prohibits roosters.
Makes sense.
You can't have them in the front yard and you can't have them free range. Those are the rules. And you can't have them for profit, apparently.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I think those are reasonable rules. They don't want you in a city.
So do people who have just like chickens running around in their yard, are they just not following the rules, or they just live in a city where that is allowed?
They probably live in a city where that is allowed, or they're just not following the rules.
It's very common in Oregon where you just be driving on like a busy road and you just see like chickens in someone's front yard. Like, how do they not get hit? Maybe they do.
Well, I don't know.
They seem dumb.
I think they probably get hit. And
They must.
We live on a very busy road, so we knew for sure we weren't going to have them. At one point, we're like, maybe we could like free range as long as we're out in the backyard with them. And I think, no.
It's not worth the risk.
Yeah, we can't have them free range. They would just instantly get mowed over, or a vulture would take them, or a cat would mow them down. They're just not No, they're not meant to survive.
Yeah.
So look up the restrictions. You know, some cities don't allow chickens at all. Some cities allow chickens, but not ducks. Some, it depends. So look up what your city allows, and then you can make a plan. And then once you have a plan, then you go to the farm store.
Okay.
That should be the order of events.
Yep.
Don't
buy a chicken and then say, I'll figure it out.
I'll figure it out. That's not how that works.
No.
So what do you need to have chickens? This is the setup. You need a baby place. Like the coop is nice, but you need a place specific for the babies because they're much smaller and they need smaller water dishes so they don't drown. They need smaller food dishes so they don't, choke
Drown. Yeah.
or drown. They need probably a smaller area to run around in. And they also need a heat lamp or some sort of heat source because they do get cold. You know, they're used to like sleeping underneath their mom. So they need a heat lamp. We got ours pre-hatched. Some people will like incubate. This is not amateur stuff.
Yeah.
That's
like a lot of work.
That's a lot of work. That's like people who like know what they're doing. Not us. So we bought pre-hatched chicks. They were like 1 to 2 days old when we got them. And they grow pretty fast. So, like I said, they're like 6 months old and they're already laying eggs.
Yeah,
so,
impressive.
Next thing you might want to look into is a coop, which is where they live. There's a bunch of different styles. You can find, we got ours off of, it was on sale at Tractor Supply before they like came out and said, we hate the gays. So
go other places.
Yeah. So there's a lovely Maine website where it's like a mom and pop business, like build custom coops. Those are fucking expensive because I looked at that because I was like, they build it on site.
Damn.
It's like permanently in the ground. It's well built.
It's like a business model.
Cheapest one.
Yeah.
$2,500.
What?
I know.
Oh my God. That seems very expensive. They're not very big.
It can fit like 8 to 10 chickens.
Damn.
And it's nice. Like you can walk in it basically.
They build it on site? Do they like build the pieces and then assemble them on site, or are they like
I think they build the
shit?
Pieces and assemble them on site. Like you can buy different styles, like how big you want yours to be, but they'll come in, they'll dig down, they'll put the hard, they'll have the run. Anyway,
yeah, that's a good business idea.
It's pretty cool. It's just expensive.
Yeah.
If we had more space and more money, maybe, because I'd love to support a local business. And I do know someone who bought a coop from them, and it's nice.
Luxury coop.
Yeah, it really is. Some people I've seen like chicken influencers like decorate their coops with wallpaper and paint and like very cute, like with curtains and stuff.
Aww.
We're not there yet.
That's cute.
It's very cute.
Maybe next year.
Yeah, I don't think our coop's big enough for that. Also, they shit everywhere. So I'm like, I don't want to put curtains up that they can poop on,
Yeah, choke them.
Yeah.
Probably wrap themselves up and then strangle themselves.
Right. And we have a small coop because we don't have that many birds. But you want to make sure your coop is big enough. Online, like when we were looking at coops online, they were like, this can fit. They said our coop could fit 8 birds, which is wild. Yeah.
They'd be all like smushed in there.
Smushed in there if they were like mini chickens or something. Yeah. So I kind of like took that with a grain of salt. And I think that's what they're aiming for. Like if you smushed all the chickens in there, you can technically fit 8.
I guess. Yeah. Like physically, yes.
When you're looking online for coops, don't max out your coop because you want to make sure your chickens are comfy and that they have space to like, run around in.
It's like a hot tub where technically, you can fit 8 people.
Yeah.
But it's going to be weird.
It's going to be weird. Yeah. Don't make it weird.
Yeah. Don't make it weird. Give them a little room.
Chicken keeping 101. Don't make it weird.
Yeah.
And then you want to also predator proof your coop/run. So Christopher, ended up digging underneath the coop about 6 inches and putting what's called hardware cloth, which is like a stronger, smaller chicken wire. Chicken wire is to keep, I saw one TikToker say, chicken wire is to keep the chickens in and hardware cloth is to keep the predators out.
Okay.
So we dug down, we put that down, we skirted it out so they can't even like dig next to it or they'll just hit the hardware cloth. And then we also had some kind of wired up. It's Fort Knox. And there's also like multiple locks. There's a lock on there's 2 locks on the big door to get into the actual coop, There's 2 locks to get into the little run, which is right next to the coop, which is where the birds go outside. And there's a lock on the nesting boxes. So it's legit Fort Knox to get in there.
Nice.
Which is nice because I don't want to come home to dead chickens.
No.
Not that we have. Our neighbors said they saw a fox the other day, but we haven't seen it. I've seen a couple skunks, a couple raccoons, and a deer. I'm not worried about the deer.
No.
And there's a couple cats in our neighborhood, outdoor cats, that could care less about these chickens, which is nice.
That is nice.
The run is a place where they go outside. So the coop is like the actual house. The run is like the outdoor space where they can graze. Some people do this thing called free ranging, which is where they don't have a run. They just kind of go wherever. And the chickens will know where their coop is. They'll always go back to the coop at night. They have quite the circadian rhythm. Like once the sun goes down, they go inside, which is nice. And they go right to bed.
And they just like don't travel very far?
Apparently. I don't know. I think it depends on, like, I don't think our chickens would stay just in our backyard.
Yeah.
I think they go over to the neighbors.
Maybe they would. I don't know.
I don't think so. I think they go to it depends on if something is good in the neighbor's yard, they probably go over to the neighbors,
True.
you know? And I know our neighbors probably don't want chickens in their backyard, you know, because they can be a little destructive. They like, you know, scratch at the grass. And like I said, I put them in an area in my garden and they like weeded the living shit out of it. So,
but they eat ticks though, right?
They eat ticks. They eat all sorts of things.
That's nice.
We'll talk about it soon.
Okay.
So yeah, you want to predator proof, you know, at least the coop. If you're free ranging, then, you know, make sure you have you're looking out for them, but
little electric fence.
Well, yeah, some people do that. Some people I've seen a lot, those like wacky arm waving inflatable tube mans.
Yeah.
They have those there to deter hawks, which I think is really funny.
That's great.
I've seen that a lot on TikTok.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's like the new thing. So they in the morning, they let the chickens out. They turn on the wacky arm waving inflatable tube man.
He's just out there doing his thing all day?
All day. And yeah, whatever you want to do. We have a little run that's attached to our coop. It's definitely not big enough. So then when we're home, we bought basically snow fencing and we let them kind of go out into this area that's snow fenced, but it doesn't have like a top. It doesn't have any bottoms. They can get at the grass. And then, so I don't want to leave them. Like I don't want to go to work when they're like out and about. So we kind of lock them in their Fort Knox coop /run during the day. And then when we go home, they get their yard time basically.
Nice.
But yeah. And then the last thing is bedding. We use the pine shavings that you buy in bulk at the farm store. There's all kinds of things on Chicken Talk. I saw one lady, she uses dried, spent coffee grounds. She gets at our local coffee roasters. Yep. There's people who use grass clippings. There's people who use leaves. There are people who use sand. All sorts of things. Whatever you want to use.
Okay.
Just do your research. I don't know. We use the pine shavings because that's what most people use. And that seems to be working well. So now you've got a coop. You've got a run. You got a plan of attack. You've looked at your local laws, and now we're on to food. Okay. When you get little baby chicks, it always amazes me. Like I know chicks aren't mammals and they don't drink milk, but they like just start eating like solid food right away.
Whoa,
isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
They're like don't.
Does seem weird.
I know like penguins will do like the regurgitation thing. I don't know why chickens. I thought it was something different, but yeah, they'll start eating like little baby food, which is basically like little crumbly things, like tiny little, like grape nuts, but smaller.
Yuck. Yeah, that's the only time anyone should be eating grape nuts is when you're a chicken.
Chickens can eat grape nuts.
Yes, they're allowed.
But not me.
No one else.
Yeah.
No, just chickens.
And really, they should only be for chickens. Like humans shouldn't be consuming that.
It's bird food at best.
Yes.
Fucking
so basically, you start off buying baby food. Once they get a little bit bigger, they move on to something called like crumble, which is just a bigger crumbly grape nut. And then once they get really big, you can buy something called pellet feed, which are like they look like the little wood pellets.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess that's cheaper than the crumble, but I guess some smaller breeds won't eat the pellet feed, or some chickens might be really picky and not eat the pellet feed. Yeah. And then you can also like supplement your chicken's food with like calcium supplements to make the shells stronger, with more protein if they're molting. Usually the chicken food that you buy, the chicken feed, should be enough. Like that it's like kibble. It should have technically everything nutritionally that they need. But I like to give them treats. which is nice because they eat everything. So everything is a treat. So I give them a lot of my work friend just gave me a bunch of old sunflower heads. And so they ate all the seeds on the sunflowers. They love dried mealworms. I give them all my like vegetable scraps. Anytime I find an earwig or a squash bug in the garden, it goes right to the chickens.
That's fun.
Yup. I tried to look for those big tomato hornworms. Have you seen those?
Yeah.
Those big green honking things?
Yeah. What a treat.
I didn't find any this year.
Oh.
But if I did, it'd go right to the chickens.
Yep.
But yeah, we found a lot of squash bugs, which I wasn't really excited about, but they all went to the chickens. So
Nice.
the
Silver
chickens
lining.
were happy. The one thing I read about one is very obvious. Do not give them like rotten or old food. Like lettuce that's not in its prime. Sure. Rotting lettuce, not okay.
Yeah.
We can't eat rotting lettuce, so they can't eat rotting lettuce.
I hate the smell of rotting lettuce.
Yeah,
It's slippy.
gross.
Yeah.
And then the green parts of tomatoes, like this, like, because chickens will eat a lot of green stuff. Like they like to eat grass and they like to eat, like my chickens love dandelion leaves. But tomatoes are actually part of the nightshade family. So you're not supposed to feed them any of the stems or the leaves or even the green tops of the tomatoes. But they can eat the actual tomato as long as it's like fully ripe.
Whoa.
So
Interesting.
yeah, just like we can eat tomatoes as long as they're fully ripe.
Yeah.
But we can't eat
True.
green tomatoes, or we're not supposed to.
We probably can, right?
Probably can. I think we could tough it out.
They just don't taste good.
And there's a lot of more. I'm sure there's more things that chickens shouldn't eat, but those are like the big things that I read. So don't give them like food that's gone bad, and don't give them green parts of tomatoes.
Yeah, they're not like compost. Not like a
Yeah, they're not
compost
like
bin.
pigs where they'll
Yeah,
eat
yeah.
anything and survive. They'll eat a human body and survive. You know.
Has
But-
anyone tried it? Might take a while.
Mhm. Peck.
Yeah,
They can eat a lot of things. So yeah, it has kind of cut down on our food waste. So
that's nice.
all like the tops of our squashes and our zucchini. They like I think in one of our zucchini surplus episode, I gave them part of the zucchini that I cut off the bad part and gave them the good part, and they had a field day with it. They loved it.
Oh.
So yeah. So now that you have your coop, your run, you've got a plan, you've got bedding, and you've got
A meal plan.
a meal plan.
Yeah.
Let's talk about chickens. This is it.
All right.
This is it. You're going to the farm store.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you're not even going to the farm. There's many different types of chickens. And just like dogs, they have different breeds, and different breeds will have different qualities. So you pick which breed of chicken you want based on the qualities that they have. Fun fact, meat chickens are different than egg chickens. Some egg chickens you can also use for meat, but mostly they're specific meat chickens and they're specific egg laying chickens.
Is chickens the general term, and under that it's hens and chickens, or
Chickens are the
chickens
general.
are-
Hens are lady chickens, and
Yeah.
roosters are male chickens.
So chickens is just kind of the category.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And obviously only the hens lay eggs. But
Only
you,
the hens lay eggs.
But you can kill hens for meat?
Yep.
Which one is preferred for meat?
Probably the hens.
Hens. People eat roosters for meat? What do people do with roosters? What's
So,
the function of a rooster?
so the
other than being
rooster- so-
fucking obnoxious.
so roosters have a couple different functions. So one, they are egg fertilizers. If you're looking for fertilized eggs, like if you want to hatch out chicks,
Okay.
you can fertilize some eggs. Two, they actually protect the flock. So their job, they're mean on purpose because they'll
They're
attack.
aggressive.
Yeah, well, you're supposed to have, you can kind of like different roosters, depending on how they were like raised and trained, they're supposed to take care of their hens. That's their number one goal. So if you come up and you look like a threat to the hens, he's going to attack you. Some roosters are just mean, but some roosters are actually quite nice. And some roosters are more attached to I've seen some where the roosters are actually more attached to the owner, who's usually female, than their actual hens, which is also not a good situation. You want them to, their job is to protect the flock.
Yeah.
If they find good food, they'll run over and get the hens and show them where the good food is. And
what a
they'll make
gentleman.
sure, yeah, they are gentlemen. And they're supposed to like, make sure their hens are happy. And they'll actually like, let's say, the worst of the worst happens and a fox gets in the coop or something. If they don't think they can fight off the fox, they'll lay down and sacrifice themselves so that the fox will take that instead of the hens.
Oh my God.
I know. Isn't
What
that
a
awful? It's such a
gentleman.
gentleman. Well, yeah, some are real dicks. Like I think Christopher has a couple stories about growing up with like just awful roosters. And speaking of roosters, I was going to talk about this later, but all the chicks you see at the farm store should be sexed. They're almost 99.9% female. I don't really know if I don't know if any farm stores sell roosters. You can usually get roosters from people who
Or like, fuck this rooster.
well, sometimes you get a bad rooster or the rooster attacks your kid and you're like, we can't have this rooster anymore. He's too aggressive.
Took an eye out.
So you either have a lovely chicken dinner.
Yeah.
Which you have to prepare that. I don't think I could do that.
Nah.
Or you send the rooster to a farm. Someone on Craigslist or someone will take your rooster. Or even at the hospital, people offer it. They're like, if you accidentally get a rooster, let me know and we'll take that off your hands for you, because it's free food.
Yeah, free meat if you're willing to do the sacrifice.
Not me, and definitely not Christopher. He doesn't even kill the spiders in our house.
Well, that's nice. I usually don't either.
He's a gentleman. I'm a murderer. I'm like, that's fucking out of my house. But yeah, so when you go to the farm store, they should be sexed. They should be, I think I've only seen the females. They should mostly be females. I don't know if they're ever selling roosters. Every once in a while, they're wrong. And all of a sudden, your hens, all of a sudden you're like, it looks like they have spurs and they're starting to crow and they start to get these kind of weird behaviors that aren't very hen-like. We were worried one of our hens, we lucked out because all 4 of our hens ended up being hens and not roosters.
Nice.
My coworker who has the very fancy coop, he said he's never bought a batch of chicks and not had one rooster. And I'm like, where are you going, my friend?
I just don't understand how they're making that mistake, but I don't want to.
Well, you have to they're small, and you have to look at their cloaca. I think I don't know how it's done.
It's a cloaca,
but yeah, they're small. So
what a weird, gross job.
So yeah,
I'm the cloaca guy.
Yeah, and a lot of times at the big hatcheries, the males are
killed.
Yeah, before they even make it to adulthood.
Yeah.
So there's all sorts of things you can do with it. Some people have multiple roosters and they all get along and everything's fine, and some people not so much. But yeah, you're mostly looking for hens. And then Christopher did all the research. I was just like, I want a friendly chicken that can lay eggs. So if you can find that, sure. So he did all the research, and we bought 2 different breeds. We bought something called a cuckoo Moran, which is almost like a salt and pepper colored chicken, and it's supposed to have chocolatey brown eggs, dark chocolate brown eggs.
Interesting.
The color of the eggs.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I brought you eggs today. I brought you one of each. Is either of those a chocolate brown egg?
No. A
No.
light brown, maybe.
There's a light brown and there's a cream.
Yeah.
The other one is a lavender Orpington, which it's a fluffy gray pearlescent colored chicken. Actually described as a golden retriever chickens. They're supposed to be very friendly. And they are. They're our friendlier of the bunch.
Like your quintessential chicken?
No, they're just friendly and kind of dumb and very sociable. And they're also very, very fluffy.
That's nice.
So, and they are kind of dumb and they're very friendly. They're still kind of afraid we didn't socialize them well, but
they're chickens.
They're chickens. But yeah, they are much friendlier than the cuckoo Morans, who are also friendly, but not as friendly.
All right.
And those ones are also supposed to lay brown eggs. I don't know where we're getting
going
this
on?
cream-colored egg. I don't know.
Yeah, where are those coming from?
I'm not complaining. We have
fine.
eggs. That's fine.
Eggs are eggs.
But yeah, so Christopher based it on friendliness, egg production. He wanted, chickens that would lay a high yield of eggs and cold hardiness because we have cold winters in Maine. And so
are you going to bring them inside? Or you leave them outside?
So I don't really know what we're going to. No, you leave them out there.
There in the snow?
Yes. And they're supposed, I guess they just survive. You just have to make sure that the coop is dry. And there's all these, honestly, we don't really have a winter plan. Christopher's it's gonna
another
be
tip.
fine.
Make a winter plan.
Yeah,
if you live in a wintry place.
So some people have insulated coops and a heat lamp, but then I was told that they eat the insulation if you put insulation in there.
They're dumb.
And yeah, I know. And then 2, if you have a heat lamp and your power goes out, they're used to the heat lamp and they'll die from cold exposure. So they have all this fluff for a reason. It's kind of like a double coat, it's insulation, so it's from the cold and the warm. So they have all this fluff for a reason. So they're supposed to just survive.
Okay. We'll see.
we'll see.
See how it goes.
I've got to do more research, and I think we'll probably, like Christopher said, like maybe we can like put a tarp over the coop or something so it's a little bit warmer and that the snow comes off it more often. We got to talk about a plan more.
You got a few months.
But we have a coop, so they have somewhere to live. But yeah, we're not gonna. I think if it's like we remember like a couple of years ago how we had a cold snap and it was like -20 Fahrenheit. I think if that happens, we may have to bring them in. Back to the furnace room.
Yeah. At least you got space for them.
Yeah. Usually start with baby chicks in the spring. That way they can grow up through the summer. They have like that time to like bulk up. And we got ours at the farm store that's like down the street from us. Tractor Supply always has a bunch. And Craigslist ads always have chicks and actually I found like some like someone had an ad for like 3 actively laying hens for like $30 for all 3 of them. I was like, damn, that's a bargain.
Seems like a good
Yeah.
chicken deal.
That's a good chicken deal.
Chicken
So
wagon.
there's always ads on Craigslist about chickens. It's usually roosters, like free rooster.
Yeah, careful about
yeah.
Craigslist rooster scams.
Well, it's just, it's like people just trying to get rid of a rooster. What you do with the rooster, whether you want a dinner or want it for your flock,
Yeah.
that's
Man,
up to you.
yeah, if you're into the business of killing roosters,
Yeah,
you got
you
like
could-
a bunch of free roosters.
You could, honestly, if you can kill and harvest a rooster, you should set up a business idea.
Yeah, business idea.
Yeah.
Killing roosters.
You get them for free.
Yep. Are
And
they
then-
good? The meat is good?
I think it depends on the rooster. But I don't know. And I don't want to know. I
No.
don't want to do that. I like my ladies that I have.
Yeah.
And we're good.
Yeah.
We're good with that. And then per Christopher, when you get the chicks, you want to handle them often so they get used to you handling them.
like
We
any pet.
started doing that, and then they got a little bit older, and they got a little bit uglier, and so I did that less.
Too ugly to handle?
I was not prepared. They were so cute when you get them, and
Yeah.
then they go. I actually have it in my pearls of wisdom here, but we'll talk about it in a second. But yeah,
All right.
and then this is a fun fact: when you get the baby chicks, they poop a lot and they have a very fluffy butt, and you have to make sure that they don't have like poop caked onto their butt. Sometimes it doesn't come out as clean as one would hope. And if that happens, you obviously don't want it like them to get an infection or like it stuck.
Yeah.
So you have to wipe it off with a paper towel, but you have to do this like super carefully because if you are too rough,
You'll Lenny them.
by eviscerating them.
Does that have a specific medical term? Eviscerate?
Eviscerate means like disemboweling.
God.
Like the intestines come out.
I did not know that's what that meant. You pull their...
Didn't know this. Luckily, per Christopher, which is what we did, thank God, there's a solution to the problem.
Okay.
Where if you buy the right food, it's easier for them to poop and you don't fall into this problem.
Okay.
So we got them. I think one had a little bit of poop on the butt. I said, that's not my job. I don't trust myself.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw what you did with that airplane where you crushed it in your hand. I don't think you should be wiping a little chick's
I'm not
butts.
that gentle.
No, you're not.
So Christopher, luckily, he's very good with the chickens.
He's a gentle boy.
He is a gentle boy. And he wiped them and he was so gentle and he's a great chicken dad.
You just like, as you're wiping their buttholes, it like pulls their intestines
I guess
out.
so. I don't know. And then
I
was
need more
like,
information.
So Christopher told me that. I go, there's no way that is a real thing.
I believe it.
And then, my work friend was like, oh, yeah. He's like, yeah, don't ever do that. It's a horrible death.
I bet.
There's nothing you can do about it.
You can't stick them back in there.
I don't think so. I
Shove
think
them in
once they're out, they're not going back in.
Yeah.
I don't
valid.
know. I don't want to know. It's horrible. So
That
don't
is
do that.
so horrible.
Get the right food. What food is that? I don't know. You should DM
right
Christopher.
stuff.
The
Yeah.
right stuff. He'll tell you all about it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I just said I don't want to touch them when they're. The thing is like I didn't want to touch them because at first they were too little, and then I was like,
And then they were
I don't
too
want to.
ugly.
Yeah, I don't want to Lenny them exactly. And then they got a little ugly, and I was like,
I'm out.
Are they diseased? We don't know.
Awkward
Turns
preteens.
out they're just awkward teens, and I kind of felt bad, but.
Whatever.
It was a rough process. The beginning was rough. We could have done things differently, but
Hey, it was a learning
we
process.
got there.
You learned.
Yeah. So now that you have your chickens, now that you got your coop and you got your run and you got your food and you got everything and you didn't eviscerate your chicks.
Buttholes are intact.
Yeah. In 6 to 7 months, which 6 to 7 months is a while.
67 months.
No,
Oh.
6 to 7 months. He'll get eggs.
Yeah.
Hopefully, maybe, if they're happy. They like light, they like warmth, and they like lots of treats. So
All
as
right.
long as you do that, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
The eggs, yeah. Ours, we're at 6 months right now, and they just started laying. And that is a long while because someone told me at the farm store, oh, you'll have eggs this summer. And I thought summer meant June, July.
August, September.
I was mistaken. And I was like, I kept shouting, like, I've been bamboozled. I've got freeloaders.
You fraud.
These chickens aren't laying.
Yeah.
They're about to be dinner.
Not pulling their weight.
Yeah. No, we're okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
They've earned their keep.
They've earned their keep. At least 2 of them have.
Yeah. The other 2.
The other thing is, once you have egg, the egg comes from a chicken butt, so that's kind of gross.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that they're not pooping in the nesting boxes. There's a bunch of stuff. Basically, just make sure they have nice roost bars to roost on, and they won't poop in the boxes.
Okay.
Boxes are for laying eggs, not for pooping.
Yeah. You hear that, chickens?
Yeah. Every once in a while, they like fuck up, but sometimes. Most of our eggs, luckily, right now have been like super clean, and there's just been like a couple pine shavings on them. But from what I read, every once in a while you'll get like a really gross, disgusting poop egg.
Probably just throw that away.
No, it's a good egg. You have to like rinse it off. Unless it's like absolutely foul and there's a bunch of shit on it, you don't want to rinse it off right away because there's something called the bloom, which is some sort of like butt secretion. That
wish you wouldn't say butt secretion.
well, I don't know how else to describe it because it comes out of the chicken's butt, right? Out of their cloaca. Yep. And there's a bloom on it, which is like some sort of like film or layer over the eggshell that keeps it fresh, because these are in theory, the chickens are going to like lay on these for so many days and then they're going to hatch. They don't want the eggs to rot. So they can actually stay on like the counter. Like they don't have to go in the fridge and they can stay for a while.
Oh, interesting.
With the bloom on.
Okay.
If you refrigerate them or if you rinse them off, they got to go in the fridge.
Okay.
Because the
I've
bloom
always wondered about that.
has been compromised.
Okay. The bloom has been compromised.
Yes. The other thing is you want to rinse the egg before you eat them if they're farm fresh eggs. If you're getting eggs at the store, in order to sell eggs professionally, you have to rinse them first with like some sort of rinse agent. So that's why they have to go in the refrigerator and they're not as, they don't last as long as they have like expiration dates that are sooner than farm fresh eggs.
Oh, that makes sense.
Because of that. Also because of like from like chicken to egg production facility to truck to grocery store. That's all days.
Yeah.
So
that'd be so gross if they didn't wash them. They're just like bringing poop everywhere.
And even if you go to the farmer's market, they should be washing their eggs before.
Yeah, it's just good business practice.
Yeah. So the eggs I brought, I didn't wash.
That's okay. I will wash them.
Yeah.
Do they still have the bloom on them?
I mean, we put them in the fridge. So I don't know. I think that means the bloom's been compromised.
Okay. Well, I put them in the fridge, so
yeah,
that's
so
okay.
You're fine.
I'll
But yeah, just wash it. And they were very clean eggs. There's no they're good ladies, so they're doing a good job. The two that are
respectable ladies.
Yeah, no one's shitting on their eggs.
Like ladies.
But yeah, so and so
right.
now 6 months into chicken keeping. In medicine, we have these things called like pearls of wisdom, which are like things that you have learned along the way that are very important.
Like pearls of wisdom, yeah.
Yeah, pearls of wisdom. So I guess they have it in non-medical life too.
Yeah, so just like, pretty general concept.
So, yeah.
Good thing you explained that.
Yeah, I just in case people didn't know.
Yeah. Here's what a pearl of wisdom is.
So I have a couple.
All right.
From my 6 months of amateur chicken keeping.
All right. Let's hear
All
them.
right.
Yeah.
Number 1, nothing will prepare you for the smell of chicken shit. And you can clean the coop as much as you want to make sure it's not smelly. You can even use this stuff called like chicken potpourri, which is just dried flowers. I love it.
So potpourri then, right? What's the difference? Do they eat the potpourri?
Well, it's not regular potpourri. It's like chicken-friendly potpourri. So if they eat it, it's fine.
It's fine. Okay.
Yeah, it's just
like
basically
flower confetti.
like dried marigolds and dried oregano and stuff.
Sounds nice.
Yeah, so it keeps it fresh and it's nice.
That's a good idea.
And according to Christopher and the internet, ducks are somehow worse than chickens.
Probably because there's a water element.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. He's like, if you think chickens are bad, ducks are so much worse.
Yeah, I've heard about ducks.
Like foul, but
foul. Bird pun.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Chickens are one of the dumbest creatures I've ever come across in my life.
I believe it.
They are dumb.
Yeah.
They don't know what is good. They don't know what is bad. It's almost endearing. I love them nonetheless. Like,
Yeah.
I love my girls.
Kind of charming. Yeah.
But
they need so much care and help, you know?
it's just, they're so dumb and lovable. And they're like kind of afraid of you, but also like,
You're the food source.
I'm the only one giving you food and water.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid of, when have I ever like, come on, man.
Yeah. You're probably like God to them. They like both fear
Oh,
and
maybe.
respect you, you know?
Don't give me that. I'm going to get an ego from that. I'm gonna complex.
To these chickens, you are God.
I am God. But yeah, they want to be by their flock all the time. So we put them in the flock, but then they fly out of their like, snow fencing run that they have. And they all of a sudden don't know where they are. And it's like, they're like, "Rah!" And then I'm just like, okay. So then I go to get them like we've done a million times. And they're like, no, never. And I'm like, we've done this so many times.
Yeah.
I'm just going
Let
to
it happen.
just, and I don't know. They can't be taught.
They refuse.
I don't know what to do, but they're not smart, and that's okay.
That's okay.
It's
Not
okay.
everyone has to be smart.
Well, they don't have to be smart. They just have to lay eggs
Yeah.
and be cute, and they're nailing it.
Yeah.
So we're okay.
All right. Fulfilling their duty.
And then my last pearl.
Yeah.
When researching online, there's a very fine line between like casual backyard chicken keeping, gardening, and like trad wife. And I
alt-right pipeline.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like every once in a while they'll be like, oh, okay, like looking for like tips on chickens, or like, look at that guy's using like a wacky waving inflatable arm tube man to protect his flock. And then all of a sudden it's like, you can't trust the government. And you're like, oh my God.
Stop pasteurizing your milk.
Yeah. Yeah, raw milk only. And you're like, oh my, okay, all right.
Vaccines are giving you autism.
Yeah. You're like, my algorithm.
A wife's duty is to serve her husband.
Yeah.
Just wanted chicken advice.
I just want to know what to do with my chickens in the winter.
Yeah.
I didn't want this.
No.
So that's my caution, is when you're online, there's that fine line, and every once in a while TikTok or Instagram is going to throw you something weird.
Any type of homesteading hobby, be very careful. And like, we're laughing about it, but at the same time, it's deadly serious. It's real. It's real.
I think there's a lot more now than like 6 months ago when we started, of homesteading that isn't trad wife, alt-right pipeline, which is nice.
It's like preppers. I follow a few leftist preppers. I'm like, this is very nice.
This is nice. It's
preparing for like community after a collapse instead of like, get your guns.
Get all the guns and ammo.
Everyone's going to be against everyone.
MREs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Those like
the meals.
The meals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stock up.
Yeah,
it's hard to find that type of stuff for leftists.
Yeah, the first time I came across it, I was like, oh my, I am not where I'm supposed to be.
No, I do not belong here.
This
too deep.
Was not what I was looking for.
No.
Block.
Yeah.
And
scary.
So beware that can happen every once in a while.
Yeah. Don't get converted.
Don't get converted. Yeah. No, stay here. Stay with us.
Stay on Earth.
This is where, stay on Earth where you're supposed to be.
Where women have rights and freedoms. And,
exactly. Yeah. And, we're all on Earth together.
Yeah.
No need.
Communities.
No need to, go down that pipeline.
Yeah.
But so lastly, for hobby collectors, is this a good hobby for ADHDers?
That's what I'm wondering. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have.
Seems like a lot of work.
It's a lot of
but
setup.
So are pets,
Yeah. It's pets in general. I think as far as pets go,
at least you're getting some return on this pet. Most pets are just there for cuteness.
Yeah, for like emotional
you
support.
You just gotta care for them, and they don't give you anything other than emotional support.
Yeah.
Chickens at least are like, you get a little ROI.
And emotional support.
Yeah, they're cute.
They're very cute. I can
laugh at them.
When I come home from work, I get this is creepy. I get a chair and I sit in front of their run and I just look at those little fuckers just
I don't think that's creepy.
Away.
I think that's fun.
I feel like if I were a chicken, I'd be creeped out. Like, what
is she doing?
Here's that girl again. Yeah. She's looking at us.
No, you are God. They're like, God is here to observe us. Look like you're working hard.
And I just give them some random dandelion leaves. They go bananas for those things.
Dandelion leaves?
What?
Nothing was stupid. Where you said random dandelion leaves. I said dandelion leaves. It was too stupid to repeat, but here we are.
But you did it anyway.
Yeah. I feel like you two double teaming it is another thing that's very helpful. I can't imagine like you doing this on your own.
I would never do this on my own.
So I think that's another part of it.
Christopher has a lot of experience with, he grew up on a farm outside of San Diego. He knows chickens. He knows geese. He had goats. His mom was like an animal collector in a good way, not like in a hoarding way. But me going into it fresh, I would have done way more research.
Yeah.
I kind of just went into it blind, which is kind of fun because you're like, oh,
figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And luckily I had Christopher there as my chicken guidance extraordinaire.
Yep.
And it's been really fun. It's a big setup. So I think in some ways, for the ADHD side, there's a big setup, but then it's not that instant gratification that you're looking for. But now that we're on the side where like we are getting eggs like almost every day, now it's like, ooh, fun. Are the eggs? Are the eggs?
And you could also, if you did want instant gratification, couldn't you just buy a hen that's already laying eggs?
Yeah, you could also buy hens that are that are already laying eggs.
Yeah, I feel like you could start there, and then if you're good at it and you like it, then maybe you could try the chicks out after. But like maybe start with the immediate gratification if that's what you like.
Yeah, I think it depends if you like animals or not. Some people don't like animals.
Yeah.
And
it's a lot of daily work. Like with all pets, you can't just buy it and then abandon it,
Exactly.
You gotta
even
commit.
Like fish, you have to like feed daily, right?
Yeah.
So you do have to commit. I'm glad they are outside. It's not like like litter boxes are stinky, but
or like a bunny living in your house.
Oh, I hate hamster shaving. The smell of that for some reason
they
is
stink.
Or ferrets.
Our upstairs neighbor used to have ferrets.
Christopher
and
used to have
around.
ferrets. He loves ferrets. I guess there's a food you can give them to make them less stinky, but
they're just little weasels, I mean, literally they're weasels.
They're so unpredictable. They're chaotic.
Yes.
And I know Christopher's chaotic, so it totally makes sense why.
He would love ferrets. Like that's the
such
ultimate.
a
Christopher
animal.
is a ferret.
Right?
His spirit animal is a ferret.
Yeah. He won't like that you said that because I think he thinks
Will he be offended?
Well, I don't know if he'll be offended.
What does he think his spirit animal is?
Well, he's got a big bunny thing going on.
Oh,
right.
duh.
The rabbits.
But like
right now, as in his entire life.
Yes, right now, in the last 40 years,
But he loves ferrets. And I think ferrets are good for the right type of person. I'm not.
No.
There's no way I could ever be a ferret person. We have a ferret. His name is John Ralphio.
Yeah, exactly.
He's enough.
Yeah. I think rabbits are like the representation of Christopher. Like when I think of him, I do think of rabbits. But I think him in animal form would be a ferret. He's not a rabbit.
Yeah.
He just likes rabbits. He is a ferret.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, Christopher. I hope you're not offended by that.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. And once again, Christopher, please don't leave me for saying that.
Leave her. Do it. Leave her.
But yeah, I think for your mental health, I think it's fantastic. Are you depressed? Get a fucking chicken. They're so funny. And they have all their like, and when they lay an egg, they have a certain call for that. It's your classic like,
oh, they do?
Yeah, the other day I came out.
Are they like alerting or is it like hurting?
I think they're just like have to announce it. I don't know. They're
egg!
Egg!
Yeah.
Everybody!
Something's happening.
I know. Could you imagine? Like you're just living your life and then you're like,
it's coming.
Something's happening to me.
Yeah.
I've got to go in this small box.
Like squat down for a little bit. Yeah.
Well, so the other funny thing is to make sure that they lay their eggs in the nesting boxes and not elsewhere.
Yeah.
You buy ceramic eggs and you put them in there. So once it started getting like mid-August, I was like, fuck this. I want eggs. So I put the ceramic eggs in the nesting box, and Christopher, I forgot to tell him.
Oh.
And he goes out there and he was like, egg! Oh, fuck. So then when I was like, egg! He's like, no, it's a fake one. I go, no, it's a real one. And he's so excited.
Did the ceramic eggs like kind of egg them on?
But
really, did it inspire them?
I don't,
they're like, hey, that's a good idea.
I put them in and a week later we started having eggs. But
Seems like
I put them in also in like June, way too early.
Oh.
Princess Bubblegum flipped the fuck out. I've never seen her.
What the fuck is that?
That's exactly. She wouldn't stop like balking, and she was like flapping her wings, and then she'd go and get all her little girlfriends, and then they'd all go in.
Would you look at this shit.
And so I was like, I don't think I've never seen her like that. To this day, I haven't seen her act like that again.
Offensive.
So, I know. She was upset.
I don't blame her.
But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope I haven't bored you with all my chicken talk.
I thought it was very interesting. I'm not going to get chickens, but it's
One day.
fun to listen to.
I gotta work on Ian. I bet Ian would want chickens.
Yeah, he's a sucker.
Yeah, he's a sucker. Well, I'm taking him to the farm store.
As long as we have dogs, I feel like we shouldn't get chickens.
You gotta get one of these $2,500 coops.
No.
And it will have a run inside, and Lucy won't be able to get into it.
If anything, I think you should talk Ian into being a chicken coop builder, because that's a great gig, and he can make a lot of money. I would do that. A husband-wife chicken coop building team.
You know what? He's gonna get chickens to know the chicken way.
Or we just learn from you, you know. We'll come up, check out your coop, check out your ladies.
I wouldn't trust someone to build my coop if they didn't have chickens.
I'm not interested in being a chicken owner.
Ian might be.
It can be like his fish, where I say, I'm not doing any of this, and I mean it. Unlike Kristin the sucker, I am serious. I'm not doing this.
I think Ian would be a great chicken dad.
I think he would too.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for that level of responsibility.
Yeah,
Lucy is enough for me.
Yeah.
I can barely handle Lucy.
I know. I think, honestly, chickens are way easier than cats or dogs because they're outside the home.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's nice. And now that we are winding down hobby collectors, it's time to wind up with a little alternative segments. Woo! Alternative
segments.
Nice long pause.
It's for dramatics.
All right, Kristin, why don't you introduce alternative segments?
This is
now DJ voice. DJ Prestige, please.
All right. On this week's alternative segments, we have absurd reasons I was late.
Wow!
Wow!
Boing! It's my little DJ button voice. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to talk about. Absurd reasons I was late, whether it's late for work or a meeting or whatever. I'm going to make this a poll question. I want to know. But
it's an event. Yeah, you can be late to it.
Yeah, Grace.
Yeah.
Why were you late?
This one happened to me in college, and I have never forgotten it. So when you said this segment idea, I was like, fucking egg sandwich in college. We were living together, actually. We were seniors in college. Like always, I was running late for my classes.
Mm-hmm.
We lived off campus. I had just made myself a beautiful breakfast sandwich.
Oh, because you had the breakfast sandwich maker.
Oh,
right?
yeah, I did.
Remember
go through
that?
a phase
it was
with
like,
that.
You were slamming breakfast sandwiches.
Yeah, I was all about it. And then just
that's why you got to get chickens. You got to get back in that game.
Or just buy eggs. I'm not going to both care for chickens and then make the breakfast sandwich. Like, that's many things. Why don't I just start with breakfast sandwiches?
I gotta have him come up. He's gonna look at my chickens.
No.
He's gonna fall in love.
It's not happening. No. But I made a delicious looking breakfast sandwich with a fried egg in it that apparently was undercooked. I am already running late. I get in my car to drive to campus, bite into my egg sandwich, and it gushes wet little fronts in classic Grace fashion, gushes all down my front. Like so much on my pants, on my car seat. It was like everywhere. It just totally like popped, exploded. I think I just didn't go to class. I was so upset. I was already late.
What do you do?
I literally just went inside.
Car seat?
Yeah.
Oh,
yep.
No.
I just went inside. I'm like, I'm not going to class. Like always, I'm just looking for the littlest excuse to not go to class. I'm like, that's it for me. I'm done for the day. Just turn around. I was like just starting my car. And that's another reason why you shouldn't eat in your car, because then stuff like that happens and you've already gotten dressed for work. And now I'm just not going to go. Yeah, that was a good one. Kristin.
Yeah.
What is the absurd reason you were late?
Okay. Wow. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
This happened Friday. So last week. I was actually like on time and I was on it and I was like, awesome. Because I'm usually like a couple minutes late, like consistently.
You gotta be. Yeah. Me too. Like 3 minutes late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who isn't?
Right? Lots of people.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Yeah.
So, but this time I was like, I am like on time. And Fridays we do case review where we review all the cases in a week. So we have a lot to go over. I don't want to be late for it. We have stuff to do. And I was like, I'm on time. And I even I got up, I did some stretches. I'm on it. And I have my keys in my hand. I have, in the morning, I have like iced coffee. It's iced coffee season. And I have it in a mason jar with a straw. And I usually chug it in the car on my 4-minute commute. And I have full, like almost to the brim of iced coffee. Because I'm like, I need it. Keys in hand, mason jar. And I'm going to the front door to get out of my home to my car so I can go to work. And as I do that, my fucking cat, John Ralphio, like does one of those like drive by between your legs, except he's not fast enough. And so I trip over
He's
him
a big boy.
like an elderly person.
You go down to your knees.
I did one of with my iced coffee, and it got.
You always do that when you fall. You throw things.
Just like the first thing, I kept my keys in my hand, but for some reason my iced coffee, the jar was still in my hand, but the ice and just went all over the wall. And we have this in our little like hallway that goes out to the front door. We have this cute little bench, and the seat of the bench opens up, and we put our hats and mittens in there. Well, there's like a little tiny crack. So the bench got covered along with the wall behind it. And then it all dripped into that little crack. So all the hats and mittens were covered with iced coffee and oat milk. And so I had to like stop but I had a fourth of a cup left of iced coffee. And I'm like, that's enough. And I'll get more at work. So I put it down on the floor, which is my mistake. I text my boss. I go, I'm going to be late. I am blaming my cat, but I'll be there soon. I get like a rag and I clean the wall. I still don't think I got everything. I get all the hats and mittens. I put them in the, wash, and I'm like, I'll just wash them when I get home, but I don't want them like sitting there because I'll forget about them. I scrub as much as I can. I get all the ice chunks because I don't want.
Left it, so you're better than me.
I was tempted to leave it, but I'm like, there's oat milk in there, and I didn't know if.
Yeah.
At least it wasn't regular milk, but I still like feel like that curdles, So I'm like, okay, it's not the best clean job, but it will do for now, and I'll just get to the rest of it later. I'm like, great. Let me just get my cup that's on the floor with a quarter cup left. No, my fucking cat comes back again and just like boom, 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 like just runs into it, and so now he's covered in coffee, and the rest of my coffee is gone, and I'm just like, no.
See, I would have just called out sick that day. I was not going to work.
I was running late, but I'll be there.
Yeah.
So I don't have any more excuses, and I was just like.
No, that's so upsetting.
Sad. I was so sad, and I couldn't even I was just like, I was just like kind of randomly like yelling, but it was like kind of funny, but I was also mad, and I was just like, oh my God. And Christopher's like already up, and he's like, hey, like I hear yelling, and I'm like, your son. He's a bastard.
Yeah, he is a bastard.
Such a bastard. Yeah. Oh my God. I was so mad at him, but it's also like stupid funny, like of course.
Like so absurd.
Of course he's gonna like run into I don't know if he had like a good poop that morning or what, but he just like was on it.
The post poop zoomies.
Yeah. I broke up multiple cat fights that morning.
Damn.
He was just fucking on it, and I just and now he's covered in iced coffee. I hope he had fun licking that off.
Yeah, he probably licked himself off, and then was even more
zoomy and more poops. So that's why I was late to work. I was like a good solid 20 minutes because I did stand there for about 7 minutes, just like looking at my situation.
It's one of those things where you're like, what do I even do? I don't even. That was me with the egg sandwich. I'm like,
you're like,
what do I even do?
That's how I felt. I was like. Fuck me then, I guess. I'm just here to be fucked.
Yes.
I guess.
Nightmare. God. That's so frustrating.
So I was late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been Alternative Segments. Wow. Quite the wind down.
Yeah.
Alternative Segments. All right. Well, since we decided that we're already way too long,
talking about chickens.
Yeah, for so long, which is good, but we have gone too long. Really, that alternative segments was kind of like Pizza Secrets of shitty little things we've done.
Shitty little things.
Except
our cats. I didn't do it.
Well, putting the cup down round 2.
That's
on you. That's on you.
Critical error right there.
You're both to blame. So that's on you. And the egg one was also on me. That was on me.
Well,
the egg.
Your egg machine should have cooked the egg more.
You're right. It's me and the egg machine to blame on that one.
It's not your fault.
Yeah. So unfortunately, the horse train is going to have to skip the pizza shop this week.
Yeah, we're skipping the pizza shop.
Sorry, guys.
We're clip-clopping away.
Yeah. No pizza for this horse train.
Not currently, but maybe later.
Yeah. We'll come back next time, next Just Eggs, with stronger than ever with the best pizza secrets.
Yeah. We'll do all pizza secrets.
Well,
No, we won't because we don't
won't.
have that
Let's-
many.
yeah.
But
Let's not go crazy.
if you'd like to send in your pizza secrets or
Yeah,
you have any
yeah,
other,
do that.
yeah, we would love to hear from your. I always love hearing other people's pizza secrets.
Same. They're always so fun.
Because it makes me feel like, oh, I'm not the only like terrible person out there.
Yeah, I'm not the only doofus. Yeah, we're less alone.
Yeah.
So send in your pizza,
Yeah,
just like you guys like hearing our podcast because it makes you
Yeah.
feel less alone.
We like
hearing from you.
So send in your pizza secrets, or if you just have like updates to your chicken advice, if you know, if you have any comments, you
got thoughts on grape nut ice cream.
right? If you're like, actually, I like grape nuts and I'm not a human.
Yeah, I'm a
Write us
turtle.
in. Yeah, I'm actually a turtle. Yeah.
Yeah, like that makes sense. You
You're
would like grape nuts, turtle.
And good for you. That's
It's turtle
great.
food. Yeah, reptile food, really.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Write us in at weirdsofeather@gmail.com. You can DM us on Instagram at weirdsofeather. We're also on TikTok. You can send us a private message. You can find us on the Facebook group. I'm actually gonna, every once in a while, I post like suggestions about different topics on what we should do going next. And I'm going to post one soon, so look out for that if it hasn't already been posted. If you are like, how do I keep this horse train going? There's a lot of ways to do that. You can buy us a coffee at ko-fi/weirdsofeather. God damn it, ko-fi.com/weirdsofeather.
Yeah.
You can buy us a coffee. You can subscribe to our Patreon, which we're about to put some stuff up there, hopefully.
Yep.
So we'll actually have content for you. We're sorry
Yeah.
that took so long. We can also visit our website, weirdsofeather.com. We have merch up there if you want like an I'm So Quirky water bottle or a Nutsucker tote or some sort of other thing. If you have a suggestion for us, we'll make it for you. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, let us
Fuck
know.
yeah.
Fuck it.
Fuck it. and
And that's it. We got to go.
yes.
Yeah.
So
I think you got it all.
reach out to us.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear from you. And you can also follow, like, subscribe, download stuff.
Sure, yeah.
Sure. Whatever that, and interact with our posts. That all helps us and we all appreciate it.
I'm playing the music for you. Play the
like
music.
the Oscar nomination
Get off
music.
the stage. Get the fuck off the stage. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Okay, see ya.
Bye.